Louisville basketball has once again made a giant splash through the transfer portal. In the month of August, with football season just 3 weeks away, Card Nation woke up to what some would say was surprising news, with former North Carolina senior guard Seth Trimble committing to the University of Louisville. Pat Kelsey has once again entered demon mode and has put the world of college basketball on notice. We are coming. Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Louisville Sports Talk. I'm your host, my name is Cam, and today we are going to be discussing Louisville's newest commit, Seth Trimble. Louisville fans should already be familiar with Seth Trimble's game, but in case you're not, I'll give you a quick rundown. Trimble is the last of a dying breed. The 6'3", 200-pound point guard from Wisconsin spent the previous 4 years at the University of North Carolina. This past season, Trimble averaged 14 points per game, 3 assists, and almost 4 rebounds, while shooting 47% from the field and shooting 28% from 3. Also, during this past season, he became a North Carolina legend by hitting the game-winning shot against Duke, and he also scored a career-high 30 against your Louisville Cardinals. I was at that game in Chapel Hill, and the way he was able to control UNC's offense, dominate defensively, and his ability to drive down the lane to get a contested bucket is something I'll never forget. Fast forward a few months down the road, and Seth Trimble is maybe going to be wearing a Louisville uniform. Now, we're not here to break down Trimble's game, but rather what this addition means as far as expectations for this upcoming season, and what this addition to the lineup means for this team. Trimble, who entered the transfer portal quietly in the spring, is currently waiting to see if a Colorado District Court ruling, which opened the door for players who entered the college in 2022 to play a 5th season, survives the NCAA challenge of appeals. Let me explain real quick using this small part of this article written by Amanda Kristovich from Yahoo Sports. She says, as college athletes begin to capitalize on their newfound 5th year of eligibility, granted through the injunction in the Wisney vs. NCAA lawsuit, the NCAA is continuing to fight to overturn the ruling altogether. On Tuesday, the NCAA notched its first procedural win in that appeals process. The 10th Circuit Court of Appeals filed an expedited briefing schedule to consider whether to pause the injunction while it considers the appeal. That means players may find out sometime next week whether the newfound eligibility they received due to the injunction would be reversed, at least until the 10th Circuit makes a final ruling. Basically, in a long story short, the NCAA's plan to enact the 5-for-5 rule isn't necessarily being challenged, but adjusted to a year before. That's what the Colorado ruling is trying to accomplish, but of course, the NCAA is appealing the decision, which we're all going to be waiting for. So it sounds like sometime next week, we will truly know whether or not Seth Trimble will have one more year of eligibility. The good thing is that he did enter the transfer portal before it closed, which is one of the main qualifiers for the Colorado ruling. You do have an entire group of players trying to get an extra year without having declared for the portal at the time, but that's an entirely different situation that's currently happening. But in my opinion, along with the majority of everybody else's out there, is the NCAA won't be successful with their appeals. I might be in the minority with my opinion, but I think the class of 2022 deserve an extra year of eligibility. While I think all of this should have happened a couple months ago, it doesn't make any sense to have wait so long just to drop the decision literally a couple of weeks away from football season and a couple months away from basketball season. And I know everybody wants the good old days of college sports back. In my opinion, this decision is one of the first steps in many to finally get us back to that spot. Because after this year, there should be zero excuse for anyone to need to sue the NCAA for an extra year. I could be wrong, I've been wrong before, but for me, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel for college sports to finally get back to some sort of common ground as far as eligibility. Now, don't even get me started on conference realignment. That's a whole other mountain to climb. But anyway, let's get back on track. So what does this mean for the University of Louisville? To me, this wasn't a panic type of addition to the roster. Let me explain. A lot of people were definitely caught off guard, including myself, when the rumors started swirling around, that there was a lot of momentum behind the situation that was Trimble trending in Louisville's direction. We were caught off guard because we all thought that if Pat Kelsey was going to make a last-minute add to the roster, that it would be either a backup 4 or somebody that brings elite shooting to the team. Seth Trimble is neither of those. So at first, the addition didn't make much sense, but on a deeper level, adding a player like Trimble to what was an already top 10 roster, I think pushes this team into actual title contention. Let me explain why. Before the addition of Trimble, Louisville was lacking a vocal veteran leader. Somebody that will grab you by your jersey after you make a mistake, look you dead in your eyes and tell you to keep your head on straight. Somebody that brings the team together during a heated moment in the game. Somebody that holds the team together when things go wrong. Now, Louisville has that guy, a leader. An emotional string that holds this team accountable and keeps the train on the track. That's just his mentality that he brings to the team. Not even what he does on the court. On the court, this guy's a difference maker, the glue guy, the emotional energizer bunny that's going to get the fans on their feet with his defensive capabilities. He's going to solidify the guard position defensively. Before, there was some concern amongst the guard room around how well-rounded the group was defensively. We all knew that Shellstad, Woolley, and Johnson could hold their own on the offense, but the main thing that caused Louisville fans and other media personalities some concern, what is the potential for the guard room defensively? Was it going to be a liability? We were asking for a lot by expecting the entire guard room to take a leap defensively, especially when it comes to dribble penetration and staying in front of the dribbler without fouling. But now a lot of those concerns are basically thrown out the window. Now we actually have a defensive anchor locking down the perimeter. Someone Pat Kelsey, John Anderchek, and Sean Dixon can rely on to lock down the opposition's main offensive threat amongst their guard room. I mean, just take 1 second to think about Seth Trimble at the top of the key and then Flory Badunga down in the paint. Think about what that does for us defensively and what that does to the other teams mentally. This addition of Seth Trimble has bolstered the backcourt room and solidified our defense, but has also given us a secondary ball handler behind Shellstad and is a player amongst the guard room that you can trust to go out there and get you a contested bucket in the paint. His highlights are actually crazy. The way he's able to adjust mid-air, contorting his body to hit an awkward angled shot over a bigger defender is something he specializes in. He is so strong. I think that's another part of the guard room that we were missing was the physicality. Woolley was your strongest guard before the Trimble addition. Now Trimble brings in an already matured, strong, physically built body ready for non-con and ACC play. This move, while surprising at first, now a couple days later makes complete sense. The ACC and the rest of the college basketball world have been put on notice. The Louisville Cardinals are a top 5 team in the country, and we are coming. All right, everybody. I just wanted to bring you this quick video just to get back in the swing of things. If you're still watching, I appreciate it. I just wanted to say thank you all for being patient with me during this absence from creating content. I took a summer break that ended up lasting longer than I wanted, and now that everything is back in order, I'm going to make even more content and videos than I have ever before. From the wise words of Stephen Rummage, if you're going to do this while not being paid, you got to do it like you are being paid. So you guys are going to be seeing a lot more of me for the foreseeable future. I'm going to make it a personal goal to myself to bring you guys the best high quality content as much as possible from here on out. So yeah, if you're still watching, I appreciate it. This has been Cam with Louisville Sports Talk, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.